What are some subtle signs of depression that most people ignore? Being irritated or outright angry at every little thing that happens daily. Doesn't matter what it is, it's irritating as hell. Flip side, overagreeability. Subtle sign that someone has given up on advocating for themselves and no longer cares enough about their immediate environmental stresses to react to them, other than just signaling falsely that everything is fine. Because then people leave you alone. It is way too exhausting and requires ownership of one's life to do anything else. Lack of appetite. Doing the bare minimum to meet their basic physical needs. Letting household chores go until they have to be done. Sleeping a lot, or not sleeping enough. Inability to focus on tasks. These symptoms are based on my own experience with depression. It is not the only symptoms that I had. I did not self-diagnose. These symptoms were subtle in my experience because they are the ones that my friends and family saw, but didn't recognize that I was not okay. It went much deeper than this. It will not apply to everyone. It is not a comprehensive list. It is not a blanket statement. Everyone's journey with mental health looks different. Please see a healthcare professional if you are concerned that you may be depressed. Social withdrawal. Fatigue, like having a harder time getting out of bed or excessive sleeping. Loss of interest in activities, hobbies that you normally wouldn't lose interest in. Loss in normal productivity at work and home. Self-care becomes a progressively daunting task. Complete lack of interest even for your hobbies. Things you used to enjoy are now meh, and why bother? My therapist asked me recently what are my hobbies. When I tried to think of them, I couldn't. Everything that used to be fun feels meh. It sucks. Hygiene. It starts slowly and you often don't notice when people begin to let themselves go. Reading this while wondering how I'm gonna even start detangling this rat's nest on my head that I haven't washed in literally months. Hey, I haven't gone that long before, but I do have some experience with 2+ weeks of not washing or brushing and my hair is past my but so detangling is no joke. Here's what I've done, maybe it'll help with your situation. 1. Get a lot of cheap conditioner, some hair clips, butterfly or alligator, and a wide tooth comb. Set up a podcast or music or a show or whatever in the background. 2. Get hair fully wet and slather the conditioner on it. I'm talking full saturation all over and let it sit for 5+ minutes. Rinse that out and saturate again. Run a bath to sit in, optional. 3. Use your fingers to separate it into sections if you can. Start by dividing it into 2, then try 4, then 8. More than that may be too many to deal with. If you start feeling overwhelmed at this point, scale back and work with what you've already divided. It won't hurt your hair to keep the conditioner on longer, so ignoring half of it is 100% an option. Use the clips to keep the sections separate. 4. Get the comb and start on a section. Put more conditioner along the length of that section. If your hair is as long as mine, you'll want to wrap the section around one hand while the other combs the ends out. Otherwise there will be pulling and excessive breakage. Keep combing, working your way from the ends to the scalp, and when that section is clear, clip it up. 5. Repeat for each section until they're all detangled, then take the clips out and wash and condition as normal. Feeling exhausted but not tired. Simple tasks become more and more draining to do and slowly get dropped more and more often instead of doing them. Their house is a mess. Their car is a mess. They procrastinate anything small or major. They avoid even minorly unpleasant scenarios. They lack a routine. Their diet is poor and they either eat too much or not enough. They overindulge in video games or streaming or similar activities to escape reality. They neglect their responsibilities and loved ones, often slowly and unknowingly. They suffer from a memory deficit. They suffer from fatigue. They lack motivation. They sleep too much yet struggle to fall asleep. Your friend asks you, "What are you looking forward to right now?" and you have no answer. This depression is not seeing a future in your life. 9 Inch Nails has a song. Every day is exactly the same. I believe I can see the future as I repeat the same routine. I used to have a purpose, although that might have been a dream. That's it right there. When you see no progression, no advancement, no change. The same banal day repeating over and over forever. Make plans, upgrade something, improve your situation and your life. See a future that is different. It's important. I've got a few minutes, let's boot up this game I've been wanting to play. 2 minutes later. Actually, nah, just not feeling it. Maybe this other game? No. Guess I'll just sit here. This was exactly when I realized my depression had gotten to the point that I needed to seek professional intervention. I'd been a gamer my whole life. I used to lose myself in video games for hours on end. These days, when I can find the time to play, I just stare at my PC desktop for hours trying to will the desire to actually do something into existence. Sleeping when you're supposed to be awake and awake when you're supposed to be sleeping. Not eating a thing all day and not feeling hungry. A very vicious circle. Sleeping simply to pass time. This is easier than being stressed at not doing anything productive. No hope for the future. Just lock me in a room and throw away the key. I feel like exhaustion is easy to ignore as a sign of depression. We're so busy working and jumping from task to task, it's easy to pass it off as being just a little tired from work, when hustle culture, and a lot of other stuff, is actually throwing us into a pit of despair. Browsing Reddit for hours instead of engaging in your hobbies. When they are overly eager to help others with their problems. No time to deal with their pain if someone else needs it more. As someone who's done this massively in my life, a few things I've noticed. The help I give others seems to always be relevant to my situation as well. I really should listen to myself a bit more. That it's easier to be kind to myself after having been kind to someone else, and that I should remind myself I also deserve kindness. That even though you're using someone's problems to escape from your own, that doesn't mean yours don't matter, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person for not prioritizing yourself. It's a hard lesson to learn. I believe in you learning it, reader. High-functioning depressive here. While there are many not-so-subtle signs, I think one that gets overlooked often is emotional autopilot. You know, when you're just going through the motions without much feeling or awareness. Everything, good or bad, is meh and devoid of wonder or pleasure. You're bored and unamused and disconnected, but not at the same time. Hugh Laurie described this as the way he knew he had depression. He was in a charity car race, and the car in front of him crashed and burst into flames, and he described being bored by seeing that in front of him. He said, "Boredom is not an appropriate response to flaming cars. I've felt that myself, though for me it presented as a need to force myself to engage with things that in my brain I knew I was excited for even though I couldn't feel it." When someone asks, "Are you okay?" and you automatically reply in the affirmative but inwardly wonder why you feel so low, then go about your day. Rinse, repeat, slowly burn out. If they are usually bubbly but are more so than usual, they might be overcompensating. To add, it can also be a sign that they have plans in place to end their life. After going so long without any motivation or anything to look forward to, sometimes it's the reason they start to appear as though they are better, since they finally see an end in sight. That was my dad a couple days before he did it. October 29th, 2014 was such a bad day. I wish I knew the signs I know now. Finding something, anything really, that takes up enough headspace that you don't have to think about life, or the next thing on your to-do list. Could be reading books, podcasts, video games, etc., etc. You start finding creative ways to be productive while still taking up 100% of the extra brain space with the distractions because you don't want to face whatever it is in your life that sucks right now. In essence, the first signs of depression are subtle avoidance and fear of free-flowing thought. Loss of interest in activities that used to bring them joy. Loss of motivation for someone who used to be really driven. Sleeping more throughout the day or sleeping less throughout the night. Cutting off people or not talking to people they used to talk to a lot for no reason or without explanation. Change in eating habits. Canceling plans for no reason. Not responding to texts as often as they used to or being as active on social media if they previously were. Zoning out in the middle of conversations. Not opening up about how they feel, if they used to do this normally before. Spending more time alone, if they used to be more social. Hey, I'm going to politely ask you to not describe my life anymore, thank you. Feeling lazy, not wanting to do even simple chores, and feeling bad or guilty about it at the same time. However, you're not really lazy, your depression makes it hard to want to do things. It's not just fun things you don't want to do anymore, it's also productive things. So, try not to feel about it, work through it over time, and if you have roommates, or a significant other it's impacting, communicate with them the best you can. Replying with, "oh" to every comment on threads like this. What are some subtle signs of depression that most people ignore? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.